My beloved friends, as you reflect on your journey, can you recognize the sign? Do you notice God's hand gently guiding your steps, watching over you, shielding you from both the visible and the hidden dangers of life? God's nearness isn't a vague idea or distant hope. It's a living, active presence, real and constant. His angels, divine emissaries, aren't just part of ancient stories. They are present right here, surrounding you with unseen protection. Today, I want you to know there are unmistakable signs, 7 divine indicators that reveal you are being watched over, protected, and cherished by angels. These are not accidents. They are not random. They are the divine imprints of a loving, thorough, holy reassurance that you are never alone. Heavenly angels have been assigned to stand guard over your life, to lead you safely and to shield you from harm. And if your heart is open to see, you'll recognize these moments for what they truly are: sacred interventions arranged by God Himself. The first sign, dear friends, is supernatural protection from harm. Think back, how many times have you been in danger? Moments where logic says you should have been hurt, but you walked away untouched. You might not have known it at the time, but angels were there, divinely appointed guardians standing between you and harm. Maybe it was a near accident on the road or a fall that somehow left you uninjured. That wasn't just luck, it was divine preservation. Scripture declares in Psalm 91:11, "For He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." Moments like these are not random. They are clear signs that the Lord has surrounded you with His angels. The enemy comes to destroy, but God's angels stand like an invisible wall, holding the line against every assault. And when you walk away safe, it's a sign that you are being held in the care of heavenly protectors. The second sign is a deep, unexplainable peace right in the middle of chaos. When life feels like it's spinning out of control, when fear and uncertainty close in, and yet your heart is calm, this peace is not natural. It's not something the world can give. It is the unmistakable evidence of angelic presence. Philippians 4:7 reminds us that the peace of God surpasses all understanding, and when your heart remains still while storms rage around you, it's not coincidence, it's a message from heaven. The angels of God are ministering to you in the secret places of your soul. They are whispering calm into your spirit, carrying you through the storm, wrapping you in divine comfort. That peace you feel, it's a holy sign. It's God's reassurance you are not alone. Let this be a gentle reminder to your heart. Today God has commanded His angels concerning you, that you may dwell in perfect peace. His heavenly messengers are not idle. They are active in your life, surrounding you with His divine care. The third sign, beloved, is sudden and unexplainable deliverance. Think back to those moments where you were in distress, with no way out, where hope seemed distant and the outcome uncertain. And yet, something shifted. A door opened. A way was made. You didn't orchestrate it. You couldn't have planned it. It was God sending His angels to break through on your behalf. Scripture affirms in Hebrews 1:14 that angels are ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation. So when you find yourself miraculously rescued, when freedom comes from the most unlikely place, know this: you've witnessed angelic intervention. They shattered the snares of the enemy. They pulled you from the pit. That moment wasn't just a coincidence. It was a divine rescue, a holy sign that God's angels are working behind the scenes to deliver you. The fourth sign is the undeniable sense of God's presence. When angels draw near, the atmosphere changes. It's as if heaven leans in and peace floods your soul. There's a stillness that settles, a divine nearness you cannot deny. This is more than a passing emotion. It is the tangible weight of glory. In the silence of your prayers or in the quiet of the night, you feel it. Sacred awareness that you're not alone. The room is filled with something holy. It's the nearness of God, and with Him, His angels. Luke 15:10 tells us that angels rejoice in God's presence. So when you feel His closeness, know this: you are in the company of heaven. His angels are encamped around you, ministering peace, infusing hope, and assuring you that God is closer than your next breath. The fifth sign is divine provision that arrives just when you need it. There are times when lack confronts you spiritually, emotionally, or physically, and you wonder where the help will come from. And then, without asking, without even expecting, provision shows up. It might come as a timely word, a financial blessing, or an answer you hadn't even prayed for yet. That's not chance. That is the hand of God moving through His angels. Just as He sent ravens to feed Elijah, 1 Kings 17:6, He dispatches His messengers today to meet your needs in the most surprising ways. So when help arrives, unannounced, perfectly timed, and beautifully sufficient, receive it as a sign. A sign that God sees, God knows, and His angels have delivered what only heaven could provide. The sixth sign is a deepened sensitivity to spiritual realities. Have you ever noticed moments when your spirit feels unusually alert, when the eternal seems nearer and the voice of God more distinct? That inner awareness, dear friend, is not accidental. It is a sacred indicator that angels are moving in your midst. They are helping to open your spiritual eyes, to awaken your heart to the voice and movement of God. As Hebrews 1:14 tells us, angels are sent to serve those who will inherit salvation. So when you find your soul drawn to divine truth, when the things of God become more vivid and your spirit more discerning, know that you are not experiencing this alone. God's angels are gently guiding your awareness, drawing your attention to the unseen realm. That spiritual clarity is a clear sign of their presence and activity in your life. The seventh and final sign is unwavering faith amid adversity. When life presses in, when storms rage and burdens seem unbearable, and yet your faith holds firm, this is no ordinary strength. This is angelic support. It's the invisible reinforcement of heaven upholding you when you feel like you have nothing left to give. That deep, immovable faith, that refusal to collapse under pressure, is a holy sign. It tells you that you are not standing alone. The angels of God are surrounding you, ministering to you, fortifying your spirit. As Hebrews 1:14 reminds us again, angels are assigned to support those in need. So when your soul stands steady in trials, when you walk through fire and come out refined, know this: you have been lifted, held, and empowered by heaven's host. And now I gently ask you, can you see the signs? Do you recognize the movements of God in your life? You are not forsaken. You are not exposed to the chaos. You are guarded, cherished, and covered by the mighty host of the Lord. His angels surround you, guiding your steps, delivering provision, defending your peace. So walk boldly, remain steady, trust that you are never alone. Open your eyes to the sacred signs around you, and you will begin to see the angels of God are active in your life. The enemy may roar, but he cannot reach you. The storm may rage, but it cannot break you. You are secured in the shadow of the Almighty. There are sacred moments when God's presence becomes so thick, so near, that it feels like angel wings are brushing through the air. And in those moments, remember this truth: heaven is closer than you think. The angels are near, and God is with you. You see, when angels are assigned by God, they don't just shield your body, they safeguard your destiny. There's a reason your spirit endured what your flesh could barely withstand. There's a reason your soul found stillness in places meant to shatter you. The enemy had plans to use your suffering to cancel your calling, but what he didn't expect was divine intervention. Heaven stepped in. The angels of God surrounded you. They lifted you from despair. They silenced the accuser's voice and declared, "This one is set apart. This one belongs to the King." When heaven's angels are guarding you, they do not slumber, they don't waver, grow weary, or leave their post. They are not temporary guards, they are relentless, faithful, resolute, assigned to the course of your life without pause. You have never been unguarded, never uncovered, never alone. And now I speak to the one who feels invisible, to the heart that's been wandering through darkness asking, Lord, have you forgotten me? Listen closely. God is nearer than your next breath. And his angels, they're already positioned. They're holding the line. They're shielding you from storms you don't yet see. Even now, battles are being waged for you in the invisible realm. Victories are being secured before the words ever leave your mouth. That is the magnitude of divine protection. That is what it means to live under angelic covering. Some of you are facing pressure not because you're weak, but because you're dangerous to hell. You carry divine assignments. You hold purpose that threatens darkness. That's why the attacks have come. But take heart. The one who called you also covers you. He sends his angels before you to prepare the path, to disarm the snares set by the enemy. Your calling is not fragile. Your destiny is not at risk. It is guarded, wrapped in heavenly armor. So do not live afraid. Do not pull back in hesitation. You are not a victim of this world. You are walking under heaven's watch. God's angels are assigned to your every step. You are not lost, they are guiding you. You are not overwhelmed, they are strengthening you. When the enemy rushes in like a flood, the Lord lifts a standard. And often that standard is an angel standing between you and harm. And know this, when you pray, heaven responds. Sometimes that answer is a warrior, an angel with a sword in hand. You asked for protection and heaven released reinforcements. You cried for help and God sent power. Even in moments when you didn't know what to pray, your spirit cried out and God heard. The pain you carried reached the throne room and heaven moved on your behalf. That's how much he cherishes you. That's how quickly he responds. That's how personally he intervenes. You are not merely surviving. You are being kept, preserved, and carried by the mercy of a God who commands angels concerning you. You see, when angels are assigned by God, they don't just shield your body, they safeguard your destiny. There's a reason your spirit endured what your flesh could barely withstand. There's a reason your soul found stillness in places meant to shatter you. The enemy had plans to use your suffering to cancel your calling, but what he didn't expect was divine intervention. Heaven stepped in. The angels of God surrounded you. They lifted you from despair. They silenced the accuser's voice and declared, this one is set apart. This one belongs to the King. When heaven's angels are guarding you, they do not slumber. They don't waver, grow weary, or leave their post. They are not temporary guards. They are relentless, faithful, resolute, assigned to the course of your life without pause. You have never been unguarded, never uncovered, never alone. And now I speak to the one who feels invisible, to the heart that's been wandering through darkness, asking, Lord, have you forgotten me? Listen closely. God is nearer than your next breath, and his angels, they're already positioned. They're holding the line. They're shielding you from storms you don't yet see. Even now, battles are being waged for you in the invisible realm. Victories are being secured before the words ever leave your mouth. That is the magnitude of divine protection. That is what it means to live under angelic covering. Some of you are facing pressure not because you're weak, but because you're dangerous to hell. You carry divine assignments. You hold purpose that threatens darkness. That's why the attacks have come. But take heart. The one who called you also covers you. He sends his angels before you to prepare the path, to disarm the snares set by the enemy. Your calling is not fragile. Your destiny is not at risk. It is guarded, wrapped in heavenly armor. So do not live afraid. Do not pull back in hesitation. You are not a victim of this world. You are walking under heaven's what? God's angels are assigned to your every step. You are not lost, they are guiding you. You are not overwhelmed, they are strengthening you. When the enemy rushes in like a flood, the Lord lifts a standard. And often that standard is an angel standing between you and harm. And know this, when you pray, heaven responds. Sometimes that answer is a warrior, an angel with a sword in hand. You asked for protection and heaven released reinforcements. You cried for help and God sent power. Even in moments when you didn't know what to pray, your spirit cried out and God heard. The pain you carried reached the throne room and heaven moved on your behalf. That's how much He cherishes you. That's how quickly He responds. That's how personally He intervenes. You are not merely surviving. You are being kept, preserved, and carried by the mercy of a God who commands angels concerning you. Your life is not a chain of accidents or random turns. It is a divine masterpiece crafted and covered at every moment by heaven's hand. Every time you thought the end had come, it hadn't. It was the sustaining grace of God holding you together. And every time you felt alone, you weren't. Angels were present in the quiet, in your tears, in the waiting seasons, in confusion and exhaustion. They were right there. And now I speak this over you. Do not lose heart. Do not let the enemy whisper lies that say you are forgotten. Don't believe for a second that you are undeserving of divine protection. The blood of Jesus has marked your life, and because you belong to Him, heaven moves when your name is spoken. Angels respond to His word over you. You are covered. You are defended. You are backed by an army that does not retreat. There is a fresh boldness rising in you even now, a new flame of faith, igniting with the awareness of God's nearness. Because once you truly know that you are watched over, you stop living as a victim and begin walking as a victor. You no longer speak from fear, you declare from faith. You wake each morning with authority, saying, no weapon formed against me will succeed. The angels of God are already positioned. I will not be moved. When you understand the reality of angelic assignment on your life, your trust deepens. Your worship becomes fuller. Your prayers carry more power. Because you realize heaven is not silent, it is moving on your behalf. Every step you take is protected by divine intention. So live like it. Live with assurance that God is on your side. Live like one who walks surrounded by glory. Live as one whose every step is guided by divine wisdom. You are not stumbling through life unprotected. You are wrapped in strength. You are covered by the very presence of God. That's your identity. That's what it means to be a child of the King. And yes, the storms will come, but even in the fiercest winds, you will not be destroyed. For your life is hidden with Christ in God. The enemy may strategize, but he will not prevail. He may rise up, but he will fall. Because angels are guarding not just your body, but your purpose, your children, your destiny, your legacy. You are not forgotten. You are not passed over. You have been marked with heaven's seal. The angels of the Lord have been sent for you. That is not fiction, that is truth. That is your inheritance. That is your unshakable promise. Let me tell you this. When heaven appoints its angels to your life, no court on earth or in hell can reverse what God has already decreed. The gavel has fallen. The verdict has been rendered. You are redeemed. You are covered. You are called. You are not a random event in time. You are the intention of eternity. Your journey is not being watched from afar. It is being walked with side by heaven's warriors. And when you walk with angels, you walk with purpose in every breath, with fire in every step. You may not hear their voices in your ears, but your spirit knows. Deep down, you felt their presence. Have you ever stood in a moment that should have gone wrong, but somehow turned in your favor? Have you ever felt an unseen hand nudge you away from harm? That wasn't your instinct. That wasn't chance. That was the whisper of the Holy One saying, not here, not now. I've gone before you. Angels are leading the way, because when God leads, He guards what He leads. He watches over what He ordains. He shields what He sets in motion. That's why the presence of angels is not an extra in your life. It is evidence of your value in heaven. God does not assign protection where there is no purpose. He does not deploy angels to the purposeless. If angels are around you, it's because heaven sees a fire in you that hell fears. Let me speak it plainly. You are a threat to darkness. You are a divine weapon in the hand of God. That's why the pressure's been heavy. That's why the attacks have come so often. That's why the enemy has tried to mute your voice, steal your joy, and suffocate your faith. But look at you, you're still here, still standing, still pressing forward. That alone is proof. You have been shielded by the unseen hand of God. The enemy launched the fire, but you walked through the flames. He loosed the arrows, but they never struck. Not because of your own strength, but because you are covered by the Almighty. Some of you have overcome battles your ancestors never could. You've broken cycles. You've walked away from bondage. You've shattered addictions and patterns that clung to your bloodline for generations. That's not luck. That's not just determination. That's divine warfare. That's angelic intervention. You are the proof that heaven interrupts the affairs of man. You are the witness that angels are real. Understand this. The spiritual realm is not less real, it is more. The unseen governs the seen. And when you align your heart with God's will, you activate a protection no earthly power can rival. You begin to live with the quiet confidence that the invisible realm is your refuge. Psalm 91 reminds us, He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways, not just a few, all your ways. God does not offer partial protection. He doesn't appoint part-time defenders. He provides full and constant coverage over your home, over your children, over your choices, over your thoughts. 7, the battles that rage silently within your mind. Because the enemy knows if he cannot reach your body, he'll attempt to torment your thoughts. But listen closely. There are angels assigned not just to your surroundings, but to your peace. Angels that guard your mind, reinforce your hope, and whisper to your soul, you are not alone. You are not forsaken. God is with you. There is a deep calm that settles when this truth takes root in your heart. When you know you're truly covered, panic begins to fade. You stop pacing the floor at night. You stop bracing for every unknown. You sleep like a warrior, confident the camp is secure. You rise like a soldier, knowing the shield is raised and the sword is drawn. Because angels do not slumber, and neither does your God. And I feel it strongly, even now many of you are being called to shift from a posture of fear to one of faith, from living like a victim to walking like a victor. You've carried yourself as prey when heaven has declared you royalty. You felt fragile, yet you are fortified by divine strength. Lift your eyes, stand tall. You are the temple of the Holy Spirit. You carry heaven's purpose. God has not left you exposed. He has wrapped you in strength and surrounded you with messengers of light. And these angels, they are not passive. They are not bystanders. They are heaven's enforcers. When God speaks a word over your life, they act. They defend your calling. They resist every opposition. They carry out the will of God with authority. And no curse, no scheme, no earthly plan, no whisper from hell can overturn what God has sealed. Yes, you may pass through fire, but you will not be consumed. You may walk through deep waters, but you will not be overcome. Because the one who commands angels walks with you. When he sends you forward, angels go ahead. When he tells you to stay, they build a hedge around you. And when he declares, this one is mine, heaven listens, saying, heaven responds. And let me say this clearly. The presence of angels doesn't mean you'll never face hardship. It means you'll never face it alone. The lion may roar, but angels will silence its mouth. The fire may burn hot, but angels will stand with you in the flame. The battle may intensify, but angels will steady your hands and strengthen your feet. So don't be afraid of what lies ahead, not when you know who walks beside you, behind you, and goes before you. Some of you have started questioning your protection because of the pain you've walked through. You've asked, if angels are really with me, why did I have to face that? Let me speak truth over you. Angels are not always sent to remove the storm, but they are always there to ensure it doesn't destroy you. The evidence of divine protection isn't the absence of struggle, it's the strength of your soul in the middle of it. It's not a scar-free life that proves their presence, it's the faith that still burns within you despite those scars. You are still standing, you are still praising, still praying, still believing. That is your sign. That is your proof. Heaven has been near. Because if the enemy had full access, your voice would have been silenced long ago. If hell had its way, your light would have gone out. But God drew a boundary and said, this far no more. And He assigned His angels to guard the edges of your destiny. So don't let fear rob you of this truth. Don't let anxiety make you forget this reality. You are covered. You are guarded. You are surrounded by a heavenly host. The angels of the Lord are not a poetic symbol. They are not spiritual metaphors. They are heaven's warriors, mighty, commissioned, and unwavering. They do not fail their mission. They do not back down. And their mission is you. This is why the enemy hates your awareness. This is why he isolates, why he lies. Because once you realize you're protected, once you understand that all of heaven backs your steps, you stop retreating, you stop shrinking, you begin to stand in boldness, you stop feeding fear, you stop entertaining doubt, you start stepping in divine authority, not with arrogance, but with holy confidence. Confidence rooted in truth. You belong to God. You are not aimless. You are not lost. You are a son, a daughter, marked by heaven. And wherever God sends His children, He assigns His angels. So walk like it. Pray like it. Worship like one who knows. Angels are not just a story. They are present. They are fighting for your breakthrough. They are dispatched for your calling. And hear this. The closer you walk with God, the more active His angels become in your life. Angels don't only show up in crisis, they move in response to your obedience. When you say, yes, Lord, with a surrendered heart, angels move like soldiers responding to their commander's voice. They gather, they guard, they block wrong paths, they shut doors not meant for you, and they open windows no man can close. You may not see them with your natural eyes, but your spirit knows. Your soul bears witness. I am not alone. You're not just entering rooms, you're being escorted into them by the hand of heaven. You're not merely stepping into new seasons, you're being ushered by angelic hosts into divine appointments. That's why opportunities have found you when you weren't seeking them. That's why doors opened before you even reached for the handle. That's why unexpected favor came from places you never imagined. It wasn't coincidence. It wasn't your credentials. It was the guidance of God and the presence of His angels ordering your steps. God's protection is not passive, is fierce in its love for you. It's strategic, it's relentless. His angels are not watching quietly from a distance. They are engaged, fighting for your peace, warring for your mind, covering your future. And when you walk by faith, you activate their movement. Faith is the atmosphere in which angels move. When you trust God without visible proof, angels are unleashed. They operate best not in sight, but in belief. They move when we stop relying on what we feel and stand firm on what God has spoken. Let me say this clearly. You were never created to live a small, ordinary life. The enemy wants to diminish you, to make you think your steps have no consequence. But the truth is, heaven is watching. The supernatural realm pays attention to every choice. When you choose purity over compromise, angels rejoice. When you resist temptation and cling to holiness, hell trembles. The protection around you is not general, it is intentional. God does not shield you only because He loves you. He shields you because you are needed. There is something inside you that must be preserved, a divine purpose that threatens the kingdom of darkness. That's why He sends His angels not to pamper you, but to position you. Not to keep you comfortable, but to keep you alive. Some of you have questioned sudden shifts, relationships that ended, doors that closed, people who walked away without warning. That wasn't rejection. It was realignment. That was heaven stepping in. That was God dispatching angels to remove what could have sabotaged your future, to clear space so your purpose could thrive. And yes, sometimes protection feels like pain. Sometimes it looks like solitude. Sometimes it comes in quiet seasons where heaven seems silent and time seems frozen. But silence does not equal absence. God does some of His most powerful work in the unseen. While you sleep, angels are arranging the structure of your future. While you pray, they're weakening the grip of what tried to destroy you. While you worship, they're constructing bridges you will one day walk across, but alive all around you. So stand strong, lift your voice, speak your identity aloud. I am not forsaken. I am not forgotten. I am fiercely loved, divinely protected, and eternally watched over by heaven's warriors. Because when God places His hand on your life, He also surrounds you with His army. And this is not poetic. This is divine infrastructure, strategic placement, a holy defense system surrounding your every breath. The enemy recognizes what's inside you. He senses the weight of your calling, even in the moments when you can't. That's why the warfare feels intense. That's why the pressure seems relentless. Not because you are weak, but because you are dangerous. And heaven refuses to leave such purpose unguarded. God's angels are not fragile figures with fluttering wings. They are warriors. They are fire. They are fierce. They stand in unshakable formation, loyal to the King and committed to your mission. They do not hesitate. They do not waver. They are not distracted. They move with precision at the voice of God and in sync with your faith. When you declare His truth with conviction, they move. When you speak His promises with boldness, they respond. They act like soldiers answering heaven's command. That's why you cannot afford to live as though you are unguarded. To walk in fear when heaven surrounds you is to live beneath your inheritance. It's time to walk like one backed by glory, to speak with the awareness that your voice reverberates through eternity, to pray like someone who activates angelic movement every time your faith rises. You are not placed here to merely survive. You are here to reign, not to drift through darkness, but to drive it back and release light wherever your feet tread. And hear this clearly: angels do not manifest in moments of ease. They show up in the fire, in the lion's den, in the midnight prison cell. They're drawn to pressure, to danger, to the breaking points where your strength ends and God's glory is revealed. So if you felt isolated, overwhelmed, pressed on every side, know this: that is the moment they surround you. They arrive precisely when the enemy thinks you're weakest, because that's when God displays His greatest strength through you. Some of you have walked through storms you didn't think you'd survive. You've cried in silence. You've battled mental torment. You've endured betrayal that cut deeper than any blade. And yet you are still here. And yet you're still here. Why? Because the angels of the Lord were dispatched to protect your purpose. Because when hell devised a plan to destroy you, heaven launched a counterattack. You didn't see it. You may not have even sensed it, but heaven intervened. You were spared from accidents that never made it to your awareness, shielded from conversations that could have derailed your calling, protected from toxic alignments, hidden from wolves in disguise. God's angels have been your silent guardians, your invisible guardrails, divinely steering you away from unseen destruction. Every time you found unexpected strength, every time peace came in a storm, every moment fear suddenly fled, that was the evidence. That was God's messengers at work. And they haven't only protected, they prepared. Angels go before you. They enter rooms ahead of you. They whisper your name into the hearts of those God has chosen to bless you. They align resources. They influence outcomes. They soften the hearts of decision makers. They clear the way before your feet touch the ground. The Bible says the steps of the righteous are ordered by the Lord. But have you ever considered who prepares those steps? Who ensures the promise doesn't slip away? It's the messengers of heaven, not just defending, but building.